You are completely out of good sci-fi. Because streaming networks are actively burying their most mind-bending concepts under a mountain of algorithm trash. Welcome back to Series Hub. Today, we are bypassing the mainstream noise to bring you 10 underrated sci-fi movies worth your time in 2026. No filler, no massive blockbusters you've already seen 100 times. Just pure, uncompromising genre cinema.
I gotta get out of...
Number 10. The Vast of Night.
What's going on? There's something in the sky.
You'd like to tell us about yourself?
I don't know.
Cool, aren't you like some big science girl? Tell me about science.
The narrative centers on a young switchboard operator and a radio DJ in 1950s New Mexico who discover a mysterious audio frequency that points to an extraterrestrial presence. The film delivers astonishingly tense, atmospheric storytelling, underscored by a brilliant retro sound design and mesmerizing long-take cinematography. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues during its dialogue-heavy exposition, and the low-budget constraints mean it leans heavily on imagination over visual spectacle. If you love deep-dive sci-fi mysteries like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the rest of our countdown. Despite a slow-burning setup, the raw ingenuity of its indie sci-fi execution is unparalleled. Number 9. Elysium. The narrative centers on a critically injured factory worker on a ruined, overpopulated Earth who must breach a pristine, high-tech space habitat to save his own life and restore equality to humanity. The film delivers astonishingly gritty, industrial exoskeleton action, underscored by a sharp satirical edge and exceptional tactile visual effects. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues during its chaotic final act, and the overarching story leans on somewhat heavy-handed class warfare cliches. Despite a conventional setup, the raw ferocity of its cyberpunk dystopian world-building is unparalleled. Number 8. Cold Storage.
That's not natural.
The narrative centers on two ordinary sub-basement storage facility employees who must band together with a retired military expert to contain a highly infectious, mutating alien fungus before it destroys humanity. The film delivers astonishingly tense, claustrophobic eco-horror storytelling, underscored by a delightfully dark comedic tone and plenty of gooey B-movie practical effects. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues between its explosive containment breaches, and the plot leans on familiar government cover-up cliches. Despite a localized setup, the raw terror of its parasitic global threat is unparalleled.
That's not natural.
Number 7. Civil War.
Forces of Texas and California.
The narrative centers on a small team of military-embedded journalists who race across a fractured, near-future United States to reach Washington, D.C. before rebel forces overthrow the government. The film delivers astonishingly visceral, anxiety-inducing battle sequences, underscored by a hauntingly detached atmosphere and groundbreaking, deafening sound design. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues during its episodic road trip segments, and the script deliberately avoids exploring the complex political ideologies behind the conflict. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the best sci-fi streaming right now, leave a comment below telling me which film on this list is your favorite. Despite an ambiguous setup, the raw, immersive terror of its domestic warfare is unparalleled. Number 6. Mickey 17.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're thinking at this point, I should have read through it.
The narrative centers on an expendable clone sent on a treacherous colonial expedition who refuses to let his replacement take his place after surviving a presumed dead mission. The film delivers astonishingly clever, dark psychological humor, underscored by an impressive dual performance from Pattinson and profound philosophical questions about human identity. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues as it balances its chaotic high-concept rules, and the secondary characters lean on slightly broad corporate villain cliches. Despite a quirky setup, the raw, satirical bite of its existential cloning premise is unparalleled.
So exciting!
But I'm you. I'm not you. I'm gonna kill you.
Number 5.
In my life when I was happy.
Companion.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy. It was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris.
The narrative centers on a young woman trapped in an increasingly bizarre, high-tech relationship with an eerily perfect companion who harbors a deeply toxic and dangerous obsession.
I didn't mean to.
The film delivers astonishingly tense, claustrophobic suspense, underscored by an unsettlingly sterile visual aesthetic and razor-sharp commentary on modern loneliness. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues during its twist-heavy second act, and some of the narrative beats lean on familiar techno-paranoia tropes.
It's me.
Number 4. The Creator.
They're not people, Maya.
Detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles.
The narrative centers on a hardened ex-Special Forces agent grieving his missing wife who is recruited to hunt down an advanced AI architect, only to discover the world-ending weapon is a child. The film delivers astonishingly beautiful, world-class cinematography, underscored by a surprisingly emotional core and cinematic visual effects produced on a fraction of a standard blockbuster budget. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues as it rushes through its sprawling geopolitical world-building, and the core story leans on predictable savior cliches. Despite a derivative setup, the raw visual majesty of its artificial intelligence war is unparalleled.
We don't have that in the fridge. How about
Number 3. Project Hail Mary.
I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment.
is dying?
You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
The narrative centers on a lone astronaut who wakes up from a coma with amnesia on a desperate, last-chance space mission to save Earth from an extinction-level solar event. The film delivers astonishingly brilliant, hard sci-fi problem-solving, underscored by incredible deep space set designs and a deeply moving story of cosmic companionship. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues during its heavy science-based technical explanations, and the structural flashback sequences lean on familiar amnesia storytelling tropes. Despite an isolated setup, the raw intellectual triumph of its interstellar survival narrative is unparalleled.
Grace, I'm gonna call you Rocky. Thumbs up. No, that's...
Number 2.
Good morning, Corey.
Bugonia.
To foster a new generation of... Okay, let's go again. More people of different skills, and every time, what is it?
Skills and identity.
The narrative centers on two deeply paranoid conspiracy theorists who kidnap a high-powered corporate executive, absolutely convinced that she is an extraterrestrial commander planning an invasion of Earth.
Welcome to the headquarters.
The film delivers astonishingly sharp, dialogue-driven tension, underscored by an escalating sense of dark absurdity and a brilliantly shifting dynamic between captor and hostage.
Or you benefit from this incident.
Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues as the obsession stalls in its confined basement setting, and the plot leans on a few repetitive kidnapping tropes. If you want more hyper-focused sci-fi breakdowns to completely fix your watch list, hit that like button to help push this video to other fans. Despite a claustrophobic setup, the raw, unpredictable paranoia of its alien invasion mystery is unparalleled.
I know you too, Teddy.
Number 1.
that define your story.
Arrival.
Your life.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Army Intelligence. Pack your bags.
Like the day they arrived.
The narrative centers on an elite linguist recruited by the military to communicate with mysterious extraterrestrial visitors after 12 monolithic spacecraft touchdown across the globe.
For what you're about to do.
The film delivers astonishingly intelligent, slow-burn tension, underscored by a profoundly moving emotional twist and a masterclass in atmospheric filmmaking. Still, the film suffers from minor pacing issues for viewers expecting explosive action, and the geopolitical subplots lean on somewhat generic military aggression cliches. Despite a cerebral setup, the raw emotional power of its linguistic alien first contact is unparalleled.
We need to make sure that they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool.
Finding sci-fi that prioritizes brilliant world-building concepts over generic blockbusters is becoming harder every day. But these 10 masterpieces prove the genre still has plenty of secrets left to offer. If you want to dive even deeper into the hidden corners of cinema, click on the video on your screen right now, where we uncover more overlooked masterpieces hidden away in the algorithm. See you there.